Alrighty, Monday, March 22nd. I got the day off work today, and we're gonna work on this 2001 Dodge Dakota. This truck's got the 360 V8, two-wheel drive, automatic. This thing's pretty much been a money pit for me. When I bought it, I needed all the brake lines done. I did all the brake lines. The transmission wouldn't shift out of first. I had to drop the pan, change the fluid, change the transmission filter, and the governor pressure switch and sensor. After I did all that, it shifted fine. But this thing, I thought the caliper was dragging, and so I replaced all the front brakes, calipers, rotors, brake pads, and it still made the same noise. Now granted, I know what a bad wheel bearing sounds like, but when you drive this thing, it doesn't make it didn't make any of the key noises that you would get with a wheel bearing going bad. Then the other day I decided to jack the wheel up and check, and as you can tell, not a lot of side to side play, up and down play. I mean, this is severe. That wheel bearing's getting ready to come off. So, truck's almost got 200,000 miles. I'd say that these wheel bearings are either original, or they've been on there a while at least. I'll have to check the other side too, but we'll get the wheel off and get the caliper and rotor off, and we'll get started. Okay, we're back. Like I said, this caliper and the pads and the rotors are new. If you guys are anything like me, you know the hardest part of the job is trying to find the tools to take everything back apart. So what we gotta do is take this retainer clip off. The caliper's held on. There's one of these up here, and one back there, 7mm Allen head, and then the caliper bracket bolts themselves are they might be 21s. We'll double check and see. I'll bring you back once I get the stuff off. Okay, I got the caliper off and the pads and the rotor. I was actually wrong. All it is the two 7mm deals that hold it. That hold the caliper on right here. 2 7mm. There is no 21mm. It must be on the newer ones. But as you can see, the wheel bearing, it's pretty well shot. I'll have to take this nut off, and then those are usually one-time use nuts. You got to replace the nut too. But I'll figure out what size this is, and we'll zip it off with the impact. I'll bring you back here after a few. Okay, this nut, this hub bearing nut, I think it's a 35. I got 34 and 36. 34 is too small, 36 is a little bit too big, so I guess it's a 35, but hell, we'll run the 36, I guess. And If you didn't have an impact, normally you would do this on the ground with the tire still on it on the ground. Well, looks like we're gonna have to heat it up a little bit. Put you somewhere where you can watch. I'm gonna replace that nut anyways. A little bit of heat helps everything. So I got that nut off. Like I said, I was able to do it with the wheel off and it off the ground because I got the impact. If you're just using a breaker bar or something, you probably want to keep the wheel on the ground. That way you can use the wheel to hold it. As we can tell, it's shot. I'm gonna call around and see what it's gonna cost to get this wheel bearing on. I'll call O'Reilly's, Advance, and then AutoZone. We ain't got a nap in Urbana no more, it closed. But I normally order my shit on Rock Auto, but yeah, the money you save, but you still gotta wait for it to get here. And my day's off today, so I wanna get it done today. I'll bring you back with an update after a bit. All right, I'm back. Called 3 places in Urbana: Advanced, AutoZone, and O'Reilly's. For a wheel bearing for a 2001 Dodge Dakota with no ABS on it, there's no sensor. That was gonna run $96 at AutoZone, or no, $96 at Advance, and $93 at AutoZone. AutoZone didn't have the one-time use spindle nut, but Advance did. $16 at Advance. I call O'Reilly's, get put on hold, and after about 15 minutes of waiting, I just decided, heck, I'll just go to Advance. Advance, they answered first and had both the parts I needed. So we'll do that. Yeah, I was kind of wanting a brake shield too. You can see the brake shield's all rusted. I might just take it off. I don't need that anyways. So I'm gonna run to Urbana here and get the parts from AutoZone. So all said and done, it should be about 120 bucks, probably 130 with taxes, but I'll bring you back when I get home. All right, change plans. I was gonna go buy that one wheel bearing for 96 bucks. But then I went ahead and checked on Rock Auto, and hell, I can buy that same Chinese type bearing for 30 bucks a piece, and they come with the new spindle nut. So heck, so buy 2 of them, have them shipped. It costs like 75 bucks to get 2 of them with both bearings, both nuts, instead of getting them now and spending $200 basically. So heck, I'll wait the freaking week and get both of them for $75 and replace both sides. This side it's got a little bit of play in it too, so do that. So I don't know when I'll finish this video, but I'll have to bring you back when I get the parts. So it'll just sit here until next week. Heck, you can't even get these brake shields anywhere, so I'm just gonna, man, I only checked Rock Auto and then called a couple places around here, none of them had it, so I'm just gonna take them bolts out and take it off, leave it off. But yeah, that's where I'll end this one then, until we pick it up next week. All right, we're back. Saturday, March 28th. I know I filmed the first part of this 5 days ago on Monday, but I finally got the new wheel bearing and spindle nut from Rock Auto. This stuff come from Arizona, but I'll be able to put the new wheel bearing on here, and then we'll get everything put back together, get the caliper put back on and the rotor put back on, and we'll see about putting the wheel on and torquing the spindle nut back down. I'll bring you back once I get something else going. Okay, I got the new bearing on. It's a lot better shape than the old one, obviously. Now, the spindle nut, again, it's a one-time use nut, so you got to replace it. And I just tightened it on with the deal here snug. I didn't do any torquing down on it until I get the wheel back on, and then we'll pop the center cap off the wheel and we'll torque it to proper spec when I got the tire back on the ground. Alright, we got the brake rotor on, caliper and pads on. Don't forget to put this retaining bracket on. It's kind of a pain in the butt to get it in there, but with a pry bar you can. So now I'll put the wheel back on and we'll set her down and torque it. Okay, I got the wheel back on. It's down on the ground. The Haynes manual says for that axle hub nut to torque it down to 185 foot-pounds, do not loosen. So torque it to 185 foot-pounds and do not back the nut off or anything. So I got my torque wrench. You know, quick tip, always when you store these torque wrenches, always store them unloaded, as you can see here. And I'll get this thing adjusted to 185 foot-pounds, and then we can torque her down. Okay, mine just goes to 184. I think it jumps to 186. I'm just going to put it at 184, and we'll tighten her down. Alrighty, that's 185. I'll slap the hubcap back on, center cap. That's how you do it. That's how you replace a wheel bearing on one of these two-wheel drive Dakotas. This one's a 2001. And we'll do the other side and we'll see what happens. I appreciate y'all watching. Until next time. Bonus footage. I got this bearing off too. There's the nut. Had to heat it up with the MAP gas torch, but I got her off. And it's a wrap. I got both sides done. So that project is good to go. That's got to be probably the easiest wheel bearing job I've ever done. Pickup track. So if you ever decide to do front wheel bearings on your two-wheel drive 2001 Dodge Dakota, it's definitely something that you could tackle in a couple hours. Of course, I've already had everything apart before. The brakes were new, the calipers were new. I anti-seized everything when I tore it apart the first time, so it made disassembly this time pretty easy. But this is where I'll leave this video. Thanks for watching.